What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the podcast. I'm here today with the one and only Dylan, aka the Big Dog, and today we got a lot to talk about. But before, make sure if you watch this video to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe for more content, and leave some or comment some ideas for the future. Because we're running out of ideas, kind of. Not really, but in the future we will. But without any further ado, we got a lot to talk about today. As I said, we got the Brewers to talk about, we got the Bucks to talk about, we got the Lakers taking a 2-0 lead against the Nuggets, we got the NFL Week 2, but let's talk about the Brewers and their week. So, the Milwaukee Brewers were coming into this week with a very big chip on their shoulder. They control their own destiny, and they definitely showed up this week. They took 3 of 5 against the St. Louis Cardinals, and it could have potentially been 5 of 5. We could have swept this whole week, but obviously we made a couple mistakes. And it was only 3 of 5, which is still good, you know. You know, coming in, I was like, okay, I think if we take 3 of 5, we should be good, and then hopefully get some help by the Pirates. But then they're useless. God, they are so useless, man. Like legit. Come on.
Okay, watch file
They are so useless. Like they had a lead and then they blew it. But yeah, the first game of the series we won 2-1. Yeah, nothing much to say. 2-1. It was basically a pitcher's duel until the 8th inning. The Cardinals.
Yep.
The Cardinals hit or got a run in the 8th inning, and we walked it off with a Keston Hira sacrifice fly. So that was nice to see. But then game 2, Adam Wainwright went off. Wait, was this? No, that wasn't the Adam Wainwright game. Never mind. I'm dumb. Okay, never mind. That wasn't the Adam Wainwright game yet. But yeah, they scored in the 9th inning, and we couldn't. The top of the 9th, and we couldn't respond. We could not respond to that, and it sucks. But you know, can't win them all, and we took 3 of 5. But then the next day they make up for it. Boy, 18-3. I did not expect that.
Oh boy.
I didn't expect that. With how great the Cardinals pitching has been against us in the past and this year, I expected it to be a very close game, but I did not expect this. Yeah. Luis Arias. Oh wait, no, he didn't have an at bat. Never mind. I was gonna say he wasn't. He did. I believe he wasn't the only one who got on base, but he didn't have an at bat. It just shows on here for some reason that he is on the stat sheet. Every Brewer got on base except for Ben Gamel was on. Never mind. Everybody was on base. It looks like. So yeah. And then the first game of the second doubleheader, we lose 4-2. Adam Wainwright. This is the Adam Wainwright game. Both Adam Wainwright and Brandon Woodruff pitched a full game of seven innings, and it wasn't enough. Yeah, he can retire any day now, like you said. And then we shut him out the final game, 6-0. Game 5, shut him out. God. Yeah, it was a good game, good series win. and then we sweep the Royals. I thought we were going to lose one game, but we swept them. And I think the MVP of this series can go to Daniel Vogelbach.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
Daniel Vogelbach can get that MVP because he legit he hit. Oh, I thought he scored a run yesterday. Never mind. He carried our team today. He hit a 2-run blast in the first, and then a 3-run homer in the 6th. So yeah, a very good series for Daniel Vogelbach, and yeah, he's been doing pretty good. I love that pickup. I love that pickup. You know, I looked at his stats when we when we DFA Justin Smoke, and we picked him up and picked up Vogelbach, and I looked at his stats and I'm like, this dude isn't that much better. And I'm like, okay. And then he goes off, and I'm like, oh, Jesus. I'm like, oh, Jesus.
And he's been way back.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, that was an amazing pickup. Amazing. So
in 2019, so there's potential there.
Yeah. I mean, sure, he didn't really have a great year with Seattle or Toronto, but, you know, he just loves it in Milwaukee, I guess.
He found, and he's also his contract as he's basically here until 2025 with arbitration and everything.
Arbitration.
So he's a cheap, very good pickup.
Hopefully he can keep it up.
Hopefully he continues it after. I hope he keeps it going after a season.
Yeah. Right now he's looking like the NL MVP. Yeah. Ever since being claimed off waivers, he's hitting 4 in 10 games. I don't know if they counted today's game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, they did. It looks like in 10 games with us, he's hitting 406. Oh no, he's hitting 417. They didn't count it. Never mind. His new average is 417. That's insane. And
that's pretty dang good.
Yeah. And I wonder if Justin Smoke has played with San Francisco yet. I'm gonna look him up because I know he got claimed by San Francisco, and
they're rivaled.
In 3 games and 6 at bats, he's 0 for 6. Wow, who could have foresaw that? Today on on the Justin Smoke Watch, we'll be discussing wow. Yeah, but yeah, we won 3 games against Cardinals, swept the Royals. All right, good stuff. You know, good stuff. But now next week we gotta do it again. We gotta do it again because it's a bigger week. It's the last week of the regular season, and if we want to have postseason baseball, if we want to have postseason baseball, we gotta at least take 2 of 3 from the Reds, if not sweep them, and we gotta win 3 of 5 from the Cardinals again, if not 4 of 5.
Yeah, we're up. Yeah, we gotta pretty much win almost every game.
Yeah, it's a very important week. Now, the first game of the series, it's Brandon Woodruff versus Anthony Desclafani. Desclafani has a 7.28 ERA, but that doesn't mean anything because he'll probably look like Clayton Kershaw. And he did the last time he faced us.
If the Brewers offense.
He faced us on August 8th.
If our offense is inconsistent.
Yeah. August 8th, he faced us, and he went 6 scoreless innings with only 2 hits and 1 walk and 6 Ks. So, yeah. I'm scared. No, not really. If we can get to him early, I think we have a good chance of winning that game. So yeah, I hope we can get to him early. I hope Woodruff can have a good game, and we can hopefully win that game. The next game might be a little tough. Brett Anderson versus Sonny Gray, however you say his first name. I think it'll be a good series. I think it'll be a good one. Gray hasn't pitched in since September 10th. He had back issues, and he's returning to the Reds rotation Tuesday. So hopefully we can get to him, or hopefully we can take him out early too and get to their bullpen. I think getting to their bullpen will help us win. Yeah, just wear out their bullpen. And then the third game of the series, Adrian Hauser. Oh God, that's a guaranteed loss. Adrian Hauser versus Luis Castillo. I can't say his last name. Adrian Hauser is probably one of the biggest disappointments this season.
He started off pretty good, but now he's been trash.
Yeah. He's definitely he hasn't had a scoreless outing since August 5th against the White Sox. Ever since, he's given up at least an earned run. And yeah, it's not good. But hopefully he can have a good outing there. I predict 2 of 3. I predict they're going to take one game at least. But I'm predicting 2 of 3 from that series. And then I don't know if the starters are announced for the Cardinals series. No, they're not. So we don't know who's pitching for the Cardinals or the Brewers that series to begin. But I predict 2 of 3 from the Brewers to the Reds. What do you think about that?
I'd say it could happen, yeah. At this point, you have to.
Yeah, I'm
if
hoping.
You want to make the playoffs.
I just think Adrian Hauser is going to struggle that last game. And that game that is the one that they might get us at. But, yeah. And for the Cardinals series, it can go either way. Again, we have the first game of the series is not a doubleheader. It's only one game on Thursday. And then 2 games on Friday. And then 1 game Saturday and then 1 game Sunday. So there's no 2 doubleheaders this time. I don't think. Yeah. No 2 doubleheaders. It's just 1 game Friday, 2 Saturday, a Sunday, and 2 Friday, 1 Saturday, and 1 Sunday. So Sunday we'll know if we are in the postseason or not. Hopefully by next Sunday.
Next week at the.
Yeah, hopefully by next Sunday we'll be in a good mood and we'll be like, Brewers are in the postseason. Here's the bracket, our predictions. But I don't want to be making of what can we do in the offseason to improve right now.
Yeah. Especially with this next one that we're going to be talking about.
Oh, God. Yeah, the Milwaukee Bucks. So...
No, Ryan Braun.
Oh, shoot. That's right. Fuck. Yeah, Ryan Braun. Sorry. I just...
Bucks as well.
Yeah, I completely
forgot. We got Braun to talk about first.
Yeah. Braun, he doesn't know if it's his last game in Miller Park. And he said on an interview during the game that right now he's focused on what's happening now, about getting to the postseason and all that. And then he said that once it's the off season, he's gonna review his he's gonna talk to his family and he's gonna see if he's still physically able to play baseball and all that. And if it is Ryan Braun's last game at Miller Park for good, I want to thank him for all the great years. I want to thank him for everything he's done. You know, he had to go through probably one of the toughest times for us is at a rebuild. We were going through a rebuild, and you know, he probably didn't like it at the time, just having to carry a pathetic team to a win in like 2015, 2016 when we were trading away pieces. I bet he was.
Yep.
I bet he was thinking, "Oh, I'm next," and then seeing the abomination of wasted seasons and all that, and he stuck through it, and then he got rewarded in 2018 and 19 with back-to-back postseason berths, and hopefully we can get back.
2018, I'll die on this hill. We should have been in the World Series. We should have made the World Series that year, but we blew it.
Yeah,
That was all going to make the World Series.
I still have that towel that I got Game 7. I'm looking at it right now, and I'm like, damn, I want to wave that this October. I'll wave it from my freaking house. I don't care. I'm waving it this October. I want to get to October baseball again. I want to be in the postseason, and if we don't, my heart's gonna be broken. I just want to make it to the postseason one last time. If it is Ryan Braun's last season, he deserves one more playoff run. Will we win the World Series? It's a very big stretch, but you never know. Anything can happen.
Yeah, since we're talking about Braun, I just want to thank him a ton if this is his last year. He legit is, when I started watching the Brewers, he was like a rookie. That was like 2007, 2008.
Yeah,
I think that was.
I wasn't watching that at the time. When I started watching, it was like probably. I mean, I was going to games, I believe, like starting 2013-ish. Like my aunt would take me and a friend to a game every single year for my birthday. And I believe like my first 6 games we won. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm 6-0 going to Brewers games. And I believe we lost like the next 4 that I went to. And I'm like, oh God. Yeah, I've been going to a lot of Brewers games in the past, and that's what got me into it. And seeing Braun do good. I went to Jonathan Lucroy's last game. I know it's not about him, but I've been there. I know I went to Lucroy's last game, but I definitely wanted to go to Braun's last game, but sadly we couldn't. I definitely would have. We probably definitely would have wanted to go if it was Braun's last game.
I hope he decides to play 1 or 2 more years.
Yeah.
But we'll see, obviously. But yeah, I mean, what I said, he started in like 07 or something. That's when I first started kind of watching him. So I was only like 6. I was very young.
Yeah. Here's a funny story that I've told you before. 2011 playoffs. They had the game 6 on the TV in the living room, and at the time I wasn't really much into baseball, and I'm walking. I was gonna go downstairs where I am now, in my grandparents' house, and we score a run, but I believe it was like near the end. And my grandpa's sitting in the chair, and they took forever to count one of the runs we counted, or that we scored. And he's like, hurry up, add the score, hurry up. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on, so I'm going downstairs. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what's going on, so I'm going downstairs.
But yeah, I've been watching the Brewers. But yeah, Yeah, I've been watching the Brewers since 2007, and for Ryan Braun, since I've been watching that, I remember when he was a rookie and everything. It's just like it's hard for me to believe he's almost retiring here soon.
Yeah.
Just insane to me.
Yeah, the years do go fast.
Just hard for me to believe.
The years really do go fast. But yeah, again, thank you, Braun, from the bottom of our hearts, from Milwaukee. I know the steroid scandal wasn't the greatest thing for you, but we believed in you through that too. We believed in you still after that, and Ryan Braun forever.
Yeah, he legit has changed the culture of Milwaukee for baseball. Before Braun and like Prince Fielder and them guys came with that team, we were not very good for a while. Last time they were legit like good was probably like way back in like the 80s, where you could call them a legit maybe team.
Robin Yount.
They were not very good in the 90s or.
Yeah, I could tell.
I'm glad I didn't have to grow up during
that. It would have been cool to grow up in the 80s just to see Robin Yount play, but yeah. You know Jacoby's dad?
Yeah.
You know Jacoby's dad?
What?
You know Jacoby's dad?
Yeah.
Apparently he went to he was at the Brewers game when Robin Yount, I believe, had his 4,000th hit. I'm
3,000, you mean?
3,000, yeah. Sorry, 3,000, not 4. So yeah, it was. Everything must come to an end. Obviously, Braun can't play forever, but I hope he does play for another 2 to 3 seasons as a Milwaukee Brewer.
Yeah, I'm just glad I didn't grow up during the 90s and 2000s for Brewer baseball, and when I got into the Brewers was when they first started becoming good. In 2008, when they made the playoffs, I still remember that. I remember CC Sabathia and everything.
Oh yeah.
So I remember watching the whole playoffs with the Phillies.
Yeah.
Then they had a good sport. And then 2011, obviously, I remember Bronny winning MVP.
Oh yeah.
Sucks he got caught the steroid stuff. If it wasn't for that, he might actually have a legit chance to make a Hall of Fame case potentially.
Yeah, I think so too. But
even though the odds are probably still good. But oh well. I'm just glad we had him. He legit changed the culture of the Brewers. I'd rank him as probably the third best Brewer of all time, behind Robin Yount and Paul Molitor.
Yeah, but I think that's enough talking about Braun, and we can move on to the Milwaukee Bucks. So
moving on to the Bucks now.
Yep. So you showed me a very cool article of an article saying that the Bucks probably will not be getting Chris Paul. And it kind of made me realize that I kind of figured that it would happen, that we weren't going to get him because of his huge ass salary, but it would have been cool to get him. Jesus, we talk a lot. Where the hell is it? Anyways, let's just talk about freaking replacements. I want D Rose, but is that realistic? I don't know if John Horst is gonna do it, but I would like D Rose. I would like D-Rose. Anybody but Bledsoe. Hell, I think my freaking dad can be a better backup point guard. And he's got back issues.
Yeah, playoff Bledsoe is not very good. At this point, that's what's really holding us back. Is we need a guy that can do some things better. And I agree with you. Derrick Rose, I think, might be the guy. If we don't get Chris Paul, of course.
I would love Chris Paul.
I mean,
but I just don't know. I just don't know if Horst can pull off that thing or can pull off a trade. But
I think about Rose's salary not much, and I remember he said something, you're afraid of giving like half the team. Well, for Rose, you wouldn't have to.
Yeah.
That's a nice thing.
But here, now
would
you?
What would be a trade though?
I have an idea actually. So, how about I just thought about this now on the spot. I didn't even think about this in the past. But I think how about we trade George Hill potentially for Derrick Rose and keep Rose as a backup point guard for the season, keep Bledsoe for his defense, and then whenever we need scoring off the bench, Rose will be there. Did you ever think about that possibly? I just thought about it now. Like keep Bledsoe for defense, and then whenever you need a scoring punch off the bench, just take Rose and take Rose in.
Could do that, I suppose, but we know Bledsoe sucks in the playoffs regardless.
I know, but he's.
I mean, and even defense has back. I mean, Goran Dragic still lit him up.
I know, but I'm just like. I just wanted to think about. I just wanted to get your take on it because I literally just thought about this right now on the spot. I'm like, well, do we have to trade Bledsoe for Rose? I mean, anyways, if Rose doesn't work out, he's an expiring deal. You can let him walk, and you can spend the money elsewhere. But if Rose does work out, then maybe get him on like a cheap extension. He's 32, so he probably won't want like $15 million per season. But yeah.
I was thinking of speaking of the Pistons. I know this probably isn't as realistic, but I know the Pistons almost moved him. What about Luke Kennard?
Kennard can play point guard. I think he would be a good fit, but he is going to be a restricted free agent, and how much will he ask for in free agency, and how much will the Pistons ask for in a potential trade? That's kind of what I'm fearing. Is how much are they gonna ask? I
was kind of thinking we'd do a bit of a major trade there. Get Luke Kennard and Derrick Rose. We need to make a splash move. We need to make a statement.
So a potential trade would probably be Eric Bledsoe or George Hill.
Well, they'd have to take one. Or George Hill, yeah. I'd rather give him Bledsoe. I'd rather have Rose as starter. Some say he isn't, but I think he still is a starter.
Yeah.
He just needs to have the right team.
Yeah, I think a potential deal they'll be asking for.
Luke Kennard would be a great.
They'll probably ask for Dante DiVincenzo as well.
That'd be the downside, but Luke Kennard, I think, actually would fit in better than Dante, though, because of his shooting. And he can create his own shot, which is what we need.
Yeah, I agree. We need a shot creator. That'd actually be kind of a cool...
Having a guy like Luke. Same with D. Rose, he's pretty good at creating his own shot, too. I even watched some highlights of Rose on the Pistons, and he's still pretty damn good. His mid-range game is very good. That would have came in so handy in this series against Miami.
Yeah.
Having a point guard that could even get like 20 points a game we'd probably be in the conference finals right now.
Or we probably would have made it to the NBA finals last year.
Yeah.
I'm just
Derrick
scared.
Rose, I think, can be that guy. He's shown to be a killer.
I'm just kind of scared because
Derrick Rose is also.
Go ahead.
Also, Derrick Rose is shown to be a killer in the postseason. He lights it up when he needs to, and we need a guy like that. He's not afraid to take the big shots. He's hit, as he said, multiple game winners, including some against Milwaukee over the years.
Yeah, I remember.
We need a point guard like that.
I remember. I started watching the Bucks when I started watching the Milwaukee Bucks when we lost 4-2 against the Bulls in the 2014 playoffs. I believe it was. Yeah, 2014. Was it? I think so.
2015 playoff.
Oh, 2015.
It was 2015.
Because I'm like, yeah, wait, no, Jabari.
14, 15.
Yeah, I think I started watching I remember watching the 26-1 or 26-0 Warriors versus the Bucks. I was so hyped. I'm like, yeah, we're probably gonna lose, but it'd be awesome if we won, and we won. I'm like, oh my god. I texted my mom, "Mom, we won. We beat the 26-0 Warriors," and she was like, "Oh, cool."
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that playoff series against the Bulls, and Derrick Rose destroyed us. He's a point guard that can light up in the playoffs, and that's who we need, I think, leading us. Him with Chris Middleton and Giannis, I think, we're destroying the playoffs.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the...
Plus, Derrick Rose, like I said, is that... Which Bledsoe is nowhere near as good as Derrick Rose is at that.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, we got Derrick Rose, too. Half the state of Illinois would probably turn to Bucks fans.
Oh, that'd be good. They'd get off our ass. I mean, Bulls fans aren't really talking much more now because of their rebuild that is failing miserably right now.
Yeah, they used to talk a lot of smack with and they used to invade Milwaukee, but they're pretty quiet now. But if Derrick Rose came to Milwaukee for that reason, you'd have a lot of them probably hopping on the Bucks bandwagon then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree with you on that. So yeah, Derrick Rose for backup or for a backup plan, if not Chris Paul.
We both want Derrick Rose playing simple. That's basically that we think is realistic.
Yeah. So anyway, Giannis Antetokounmpo, it was announced a couple days ago that he won back-to-back MVPs, and it was announced a while ago he won Defensive Player of the Year, and LeBron James, and his reaction was that he was pissed off because he only got 16 votes, and that the criterias are not the same as it was before about MVP. And Anthony Davis said that that LeBron was probably the most valuable player in the regular season and postseason. Which postseason, yeah, we sucked in the postseason, but it's a regular season award. And then Stephen A. Smith and Kendrick Perkins went on First Take saying that LeBron deserved it more than Giannis. But they still respect Giannis, but I don't think Kendrick Perkins does because he never talks about Giannis. And that he used to play with LeBron at the end stages of his career. But I think in my opinion, Giannis deserves it 1,000%. And there's a bunch of angry LeBron fans, but Yeah, I think Giannis deserved it 1,000%, and you know they can get pissed off over that. They can get pissed off over that all they want.
Yep.
And also,
Giannis got
go ahead.
1,000%, and well, congratulations, Giannis.
Yeah, and then he had an interview on TNT with the crew, and he basically said that don't call me a back-to-back MVP until I win a ring. And he also said that if we have the same competitive nature and we want to win a championship, and if they could build a championship culture in Milwaukee, why wouldn't I be here for 15 more years?
Yeah, he basically said, I'm basically staying in Milwaukee for 15 years as they're all on the same page.
Yeah.
And yeah, there were a lot of comments of other fans that were pissed off, and it made me laugh. Yeah.
I don't know much
that
about
was awesome.
That. Yeah, probably the Warriors fans and all that. I reacted to a
Laker fan.
Yeah, I reacted to a LeBron fan's YouTube. Oprah side, he's a big LeBron fan. He does not care about any team that. If he does not care about the Cavs, he does not care about the Lakers. He just cares about LeBron. And if they don't win, it's everybody's fault but LeBron's. But he said that. But here's the weird thing. Back in 2017, before Bledsoe, when Giannis was going off for like 44 against Portland, you remember that game, right?
Yep.
He reacted to that and he's like, "That's my MVP. What's wrong with y'all?" He was on Giannis' side, and then he's like, "Yeah, they just gave it to Giannis' weak ass, and but LeBron's getting his 4th ring this year, so why the fuck should we care?" and all that. And I'm like, you know what? We're gonna get a ring one of these years, but I'm scared because Kyrie and KD of Brooklyn. I don't know if that's gonna affect us. You know?
Well, as long as we get a competent point guard, we should be fine.
Yeah. Because, Kyrie was out for the playoffs this year, but it wouldn't have mattered. And KD was out for the whole year anyways. But, yeah, they're going to both be back healthy. Depending on when the hell this next season even starts. We don't even know when it's going to start yet. Like, we don't even know when the off season is going to happen. The draft isn't until November. They're probably gonna start it like late January. Or February.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? But yeah, that's that's what I'm thinking about. Is I think the Brooklyn Nets will be a force and probably our best competition along with the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat if they can add another star. But yeah, that's just my thing about that. You got anything else to say about that?
Yeah, I can pronounce it. Yeah, I mean, Brooklyn will definitely be there strong next year, I'm pretty sure. But I'm definitely curious. I can't wait for the battles as long as we had a new point guard. I think Derrick Rose is that type of guy that could help us, but we will see what happens.
Oh, yeah. Fun fact. If Derrick Rose does come to Milwaukee, he would be probably one of not that many people to have played on 4 teams that are in the same division. Obviously drafted by the Bulls, signed with the Cavaliers, and then signed with the Pistons. And then if he gets traded to Milwaukee, there'll be 4 of the Central teams in the Eastern Conference that he would be on. then the Pacers would go out and sign him. Just to say that they were the 15th.
Probably.
I just wanted to throw that fun fact out there.
One thing about Rose, I know we just kind of talked about it. I do kind of want to see him win a ring too after what happened to him. He got injured all because of Tom Thibodeau leaving him in, and then he got ruined a chance to be winning more MVPs and potential championships.
Yeah,
I'd love to see him come to Milwaukee and try to help him get a ring at least. I feel so bad for what happened to him. He was and still is one of my more favorite players. If he comes to the Bucks, I'm definitely buying one of his shirts or jerseys.
I am too. I'm probably gonna be one of the first people to do it. I'm probably gonna be one of the first people to do it. But yeah. Let's move on.
Even though he's on Chicago, yeah. Even though he's on Chicago, but I still liked him a ton. Okay, now we can move on.
Yeah. All right. So this one should be quick. Lakers take a 2-0 series lead on the Nuggets. Anthony Davis basically hit the dagger, and now it's 2-0. I don't think it's going to be I don't think it's going to be a situation like the Clippers and the Jazz. I don't think the Nuggets would come back because the Lakers right now are on a rampage. And I think it's a different animal.
Yeah, I agree. I think Denver might take a game, maybe two, and I think that's as far as it's going to go.
Watch them just come back now.
Out east, well, Peter.
Watch them just come back now.
If the Nuggets do win, the Nuggets do come back and win, oh my goodness. But LeBron and AD are just on a rampage here, and just I just don't see them being stopped this year. LeBron will probably be getting his 4th ring. I don't see anyone in the East, Boston, or Miami, I should say, in this case, beating them. Boston, I think, might actually, maybe I don't know. Miami does have the shooters to do it.
Yeah. But I think
we'll see, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see. If the Nuggets come back and win this series, you thought the media buzzed over the Clippers blowing a 3-1. Oh boy. Just wait for all the LeBron haters to come out. They would have a field day with that. They would have a freaking field day, because I've been seeing a bunch of Twitter handles of names like La Overrated James, and all that. And Skip Bayless has also been critical of LeBron forever now.
LeBron's a great player, even though I used to like him more. I don't like him as much as I used to, but dude's a great player. I won't deny that. I hope Giannis takes a page or two out of what he did. Because LeBron back 10 years
player.
did the same thing Giannis is now.
I think LeBron's an elite player still. I think LeBron's still an elite player, but I'm just saying that if they blow this series to the Nuggets, LeBron just be like ready to take criticism. Just be ready.
I hope Giannis takes a page or two out of what LeBron did, because 10 years ago, LeBron went through the same thing Giannis is going through now. He'd only get to like the second or conference finals and he'd lose. And then everyone called him a choker and everything. And then LeBron worked on his game on jump shooting and stuff. I hope Giannis does the same. Even Michael Jordan went through the same thing.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, before he won his 6 rings, was called a choker and was told that he would never win anything. Even though he proved him wrong pretty clearly.
Yeah, he definitely did, and
They-
I hope we can do that.
Yeah,
I definitely want that.
I hope Giannis is not.
But
I remember Dirk Nowitzki, 11 was told he was a choker and everything. I remember that, and then you had probably Kobe going through the same thing until he won in 09. I was told that Shaq's the reason why he won, I'm sure.
yeah,
Because Shaq won in 06. I don't know if you remember that with Wade.
yeah, I
with
know
the
that.
Heat, so yeah.
I remember that.
First thing Kobe got them.
I remember that.
Kobe probably got so much criticism.
He was on a terrible
Imagine
team.
the criticism Kobe got.
He was on really bad teams in the mid 2000s after Shaq left. He had Kwame Brown as a teammate, for Christ's sake, and it's still one of the funniest ESPN story or videos ever of the Kwame Brown for Pau Gasol trade, and Stephen A goes, Kwame Brown is gone. The City of Angels should be celebrating already, whether he won a championship or not. This dude is a bona fide scrub. He can't play. No disrespect whatsoever. And then that idiot guy next to him's like, 2 future first rounders. And then he's like, so, it's all about, NBA's all about contracts, so their contracts are off the books. I'm like, what? The NBA... And Stephen A's like, yeah, well, it's not all about NBA. It's not all about contracts. It's about contracts if you're a scrub team and a rebuilding team. And
Yep.
and then he's also like, yeah, they're future first rounders, but when you're in the midst of playoff contention, those picks will not be that great. Stephen A's a legend.
Yeah.
That video will always be a classic. Kwame Brown is gone. Or when you're replacing nothing, that makes you something. Yeah, that was funny. That's still funny to this day.
Yeah. But yeah, Kobe Bryant probably had so much criticism back then, though.
Yeah.
After Shaq made, I wasn't around for that then, but I'm sure he got so much criticism then. Probably said like, "Oh, you can't win without Shaq" and everything.
Hell, they lost one year with Shaq, with the Pistons.
And yeah,
the Pistons. They had Shaq one year and they
blew 04, it. And
the Pistons had a great game plan.
Yeah, they lost in 2000.
The Pistons had a really good
What?
The Pistons had a really good game plan that series. They legit was just like playing small, I believe, for Shaq to get all the shots in the first half, and then Kobe will take bad shots in the second half, and if he even makes all of them, they probably wouldn't win, and that's what happened. They basically had all their attention on Shaq, and making sure that he got all the touches, so Kobe would take bad shots, and it worked. But we're not talking about that. That's
very high of them too.
Yeah. All right. Well, now that that's over with, the Packer game and NFL Week 2. So the Green Bay Packers won 42-21 over the Detroit Lions. Aaron Rodgers had 18 of 30, 240 yards, 2 TDs, no interceptions, got sacked only once. Aaron Jones was a monster, and I think this dude within the first 2 weeks has proven that he deserves a contract extension. He's on the last year of his contract, and he's been going off. He had 18 rushes for 168 and 2 TDs, averaged 9.3 yards per carry. 9.3 yards per carry. That is incredible. Like, legit, one of the first plays, if not the first play of the second half, he went on for 75 yards. I don't know if you watched the game or not, but in the second half, it was kind of a
How does that
domination.
work?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're at work. But, yeah, it was a complete domination in the second half. So, yeah, he even had 4 receptions for 68 yards and a touchdown. If this dude does not get a contract extension, I don't know what, but the first, obviously, extension we need to make is David Bakhtiari and Devontae Adams.
But, yeah, we need to lock them guys up.
Yeah, and it kind of there's a scary moment because for a little bit Devontae was out with a hamstring. He was having a hamstring issue, but he was in there in the fourth quarter, which was a good thing. But obviously he was limited. Adam Lazard has been doing pretty good. Every time Adam Lazard catches a ball, my grandpa goes, "Lizard." That lizard guy's been doing pretty good. So, yeah, that was the game. Zadarius Smith had a sack. Rashawn Gary had 1.5 sacks. Vernon Scott, our 7th-round pick rookie, had a sack. Good to see that. Preston Smith had half a sack. We got pressure on Matthew Stafford, which was huge. We even had a pick six, and we actually had a pick six. Once our defense was looking awful, we actually had life. And, yeah, I believe that was a turning point of the game. We were down 14-3, and we came back, and we had another 40 piece. So that's my take on the game. But I just want to say one thing before I go into the recap of the rest of the games here. It was reported, I don't know if you saw this, but former Wisconsin Badger running back and former teammate of Russell Wilson when he was with Wisconsin, James White, he was inactive today, and his parents got into a car crash in Florida, and his dad passed away, and his mom is in critical condition. So I think, you don't want to, if you're an NFL player, it must have been so tough for him, and Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, even said, "Hey, I could fly you to Florida to be with your family now," but he's like, "No, I'm gonna wait for my teammates." And I think it must have been so hard to say that, and I'm with them 100%. You never want to be in that situation. It must have been really hard. I was shocked because that was like last second too, I believe. Yeah. My condolences to James White. It's tough. It's really tough. Yeah. Condolences to James White and his family. It's tough, but
yeah.
But yeah. So week 2 of the National Football League. The Cleveland Browns defeated the Bengals 35-30. The Bears, they keep having ugly victories after ugly victories. They won 17-13. The Cowboys, oh my god, dude. You had to watch this game live to believe it. Atlanta Falcons, how do you do that again? How in the world do you do that again? You blow another lead. The Falcons were freaking leading 20-0 after the first quarter. They were leading 29-10 in the half. 29-24 after 3. They didn't score at all in the third quarter. And then with like 2 minutes left, they were up 39-30. That's a 2-possession game with 2 minutes left. The Cowboys score with 1:49 left. And they get the extra point made. And then, this was so funny. The onside kick. And, of course, they had to say it. The last time that an onside kick was successful was the 2015 NFC Championship game. Damn it, bitch. Between the Packers and the Seahawks. Brandon Bostic, fuck you. I hate Brandon Bostic still, but damn it, dude. But anyways, yeah, that was funny. That was freaking funny. And then they drive down the field and they score the winning field goal. And the rest is history. The Falcons blew another lead. They blew a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl, and now they blow a 29-10 lead. And, they're going to still think that they're doing everything right in the organization, but they still have an incompetent head coach. But I'm not even blaming the head coach. All the Falcons that were on the field were staring at the damn ball. They just let it pass them so the Cowboys could recover it. They were staring at the ball. They were literally just standing there. And I'm like, and it pissed me off because I'm a Packer fan, but it pissed me off because I'm like, you're just gonna legit just let it stay, or you're just gonna let it pass you like that? And it was like, what? I don't understand, but the Falcons blew blew a big lead again. But yeah, I just don't understand how they keep doing this. But anyways, let's move on. The Titans defeat the Jaguars 33-30. The Vikings played like shit and lost 28-11. Jonathan Taylor, former Wisconsin running back, had 101 rushing yards, 1 touchdown. He did pretty good today. He did pretty good, and I'm glad I have him on my fantasy team. The Buffalo Bills won 31-28. The team that is somehow still able to play football, the 49ers, with all their injuries, beat the Jets, hobblingly beat the Jets 31-13. That's a new word. They hobbled their way into a victory. Legit, they have their star pass rusher Nick Bosa injured. Hell, Jimmy Garoppolo, ankle injury. He was out for a little bit, or he was out for the rest of the game. Deebo Samuel, George Kittle were out. They have so many injuries that I don't know if they're gonna be back in the postseason. But they did win today, but it's against the Jets. Congratulations. You beat the damn Jets. Want a cookie? One team that I did not think would be back in the back to looking good is the Rams. They won 37-19 over the Eagles, and the Eagles have looked like shit this season. The Eagles legit last week were Carson Wentz got pancaked. He legit was like gonna turn into a damn pancake. He got sacked 8 times. Today he got sacked 0, but they lost 37-19. He threw 2 picks. And also the Rams gave Robert Woods, for some reason, an extension. But I'm not gonna talk about that. Yeah, Robert Woods lands a 4-year, $65 million extension for some fucking reason. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm just saying, you're so dead in the cap. Why are you doing this? Like, you legit have like no cap space for the future. You had to take on a bunch of dead money in the offseason by trading it away, Brandon Cooks, releasing Clay Matthews and others, taking on all that dead money, and you somehow still afford the extension? Okay, whatever.
Uh,
The Steelers defeat the Broncos 26-21. The Buccaneers win 31-17 over the Panthers. The Arizona Cardinals beat the Washington football team 30-15. The Chiefs and Chargers game was amazing. Justin Herbert had an amazing first start of his career. He was 22 of 33, 311 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 2 sacks. He got sacked twice. But what I liked about him, or what I liked about this team, is that they legit almost beat the Chiefs. They almost defeated the Chiefs. But you can't really beat them when their kicker can make 58-yard field goals. The kicker made 2 58-yard field goals. Even when he was iced. Hell, like before he kicked the game winner, they called the timeout, he still made it. And then he was still able to focus and make the next kick. I was like, wow, that's rare these days. A good kicker? What is that? But yeah, give credit to them.
The Chiefs
The Chiefs have a really good team. Patrick Mahomes even struggled.
The Chiefs not.
Go ahead.
The Chiefs really know how to draft. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. And Patrick Mahomes, it does show that he only got sacked once. But I watched only the first quarter and then the late in the fourth quarter and overtime. Patrick Mahomes got hit a lot in the first quarter. Like, legit. He was pressured a lot. He had to throw away. To end the first quarter, he took a big hit. I'm like, Jesus Christ. He's getting hit hard. He's getting hit hard. I don't know how he's going to survive this game. But, yeah. And then I see a report on Twitter saying that if Tyrod Taylor, who's a goddamn bust, is ready to go for next week, that he's going to get to start next week. Anthony Lynn, what in the blue hell are you doing? You're going to legit start Tyrod Taylor, who hasn't been good in like 5-6 years, over a goddamn rookie that you drafted in the top 10. And he looked good today.
And he actually...
Go ahead.
And he actually looked pretty dang good, too.
Yeah. He looked good today, and you're not going to start him consistently? You did good today. You're out.
Take a week off.
Man. And then Ravens and Texans. Ravens defeated them. Or Ravens won 33-16. Deshaun Watson, get the hell out of Houston. And then the Seahawks won 35-30. Russell Wilson had a really good game. 21 of 28. 5 TD passes. Also got me a fantasy victory, so he gets bonus points there. He threw 1 pick, and that was legit. Like, the worst start to a game ever for the Seahawks. Their starting right tackle gets injured. He gets injured, and then the next play, the receiver legit has the ball, like legit, out from his hands, and it goes into a Patriots hand, or goes into Devin McCourty's hands, and it's a pick six for the Patriots. Greg Olsen, who is probably one of the best tight ends of this decade, or last decade, could not hold on to a damn ball, and it led to a pick six. I'm like, how does that happen? I'm like, that's a terrible start, and then they obviously won. But yeah, next week for the Packers, it's Packers and Saints Sunday Night Football. So that should be a very interesting game. It's going to be probably our biggest test yet.
I was about to say that's gonna be a good test game
To see if
show how legit good we are.
see if we are Super Bowl contenders. Tomorrow, the Saints. Sorry, go ahead.
If we beat the Saints and it's a good victory, then I'd say the Packers are legit contenders.
Yeah.
And they should be taken serious, son.
Yeah. The Saints play tomorrow against the Las Vegas Raiders. So, yeah, hopefully the Raiders can make tougher or tucker them out. I don't know what I was trying to say there. Hopefully they can do something.
Yeah.
But yeah, Monday Night Football, Raiders, Saints. I'm not gonna be able to watch because I work. I know you aren't gonna watch because why would you? Yeah, I think that's all I got.
I have no reason.
Yeah, especially when the Brewers are playing tomorrow. What time is that game tomorrow? 5:40. Yeah, I'm gonna be working. I might start on my break.
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna be on my break when we start. I don't know. It's random. 5:40, 5:40. They're all 5:40 games for the Cincinnati series.
Yeah, I'm watching the Brewery game in the middle of a potential postseason run we're trying to go on, not a random football game for me.
Yeah. I'd watch the Brewers too.
Early in the season.
I'd watch the Brewers too if I could. If I could, but I work. Unless I probably will when I'm on my break. We start breaks at 5. Depending on where I am on the lineup sheet, I should be on break by 6. So hopefully I'll be watching by the second inning, and probably till the third inning, fourth inning. So I'll be able to catch a little bit, but not the whole game. And then I'll see who won on my 15, the last break at 8 something, 9 o'clock. But yeah, that's the only way I'm watching it. I can't just leave work in the middle of the day. The only way I would fucking do that if we were in the World Series. If we were in the World Series, I definitely would leave work, probably.
This time you're sick.
I got COVID. No, I don't.
COVID.
But yeah, that's the only way I'm leaving work for a baseball game, is if we are in the World Series. But yeah. Hopefully next week we are in a good mood. And yeah.
We've had enough disappointment with the Bucks. It'd be nice to get some good news with the Brewers, and then hopefully the big game with the Packers or Saints. That's the perfect test game. I'm excited to see how they do.
Yeah, we can do next week. We can do we can recap week 3, and then the Packer game, obviously, and also we could do the playoff predictions in a separate video. I think.
We gotta do that.
I kind of want that to be a separate video, so watch out for that, people who I highly doubt are still watching this far. But yeah, I think that's all for me. Do you got anything?
Well, I mean, the only thing I got obviously is the well, like I said, that Saints game will be a big game to kind of show where we're at
Yeah, I think it's if we made any significant progress.
for the.
But
If we win that game and it's by like a good margin, say yeah, we're definitely Super Bowl contenders, then 100%.
and if but I think we still would be good. Like let's say we lose, but not like if the Saints like let's say they walk it off on a field goal, I still think we're gonna be okay, but just like you know we definitely need to step it up a little bit. If we lose by like 30, we're not contenders. But if we lose by like
We need
if we lose by like 3 or 6 or something like that, I still think we'll be okay. But a win would definitely help.
like yeah, if they lose if it's by a small score, then I wouldn't be too worried.
Yeah.
But if they win, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, they're legit.
Oh yeah. But I think that's it.
Yeah, I don't have anything else.
Um. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next time. Subscribe, like I said before. Like, and yeah, peace. We're out.
Adios.